Hi, and welcome back to Rick's Room. Now, as you know, this is the show where we pretend we're at the end of a busy day and we finally get to catch up with someone that we've been wanting to talk to for a long time. And my guest today is actually someone I've been wanting to talk to on the show for a long time. She's Jamie Burkart. She's the founder of Foenix Tax and Business Services. Jamie, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me. It's great to talk with you as well.
Now, for you in the audience, I know Jamie because of our chamber deep dive. We worked together. I've got to learn a little bit about her business, but only a little bit. So, Jamie, tell me what's going on with you now.
Well, I just completed these building out a business mentoring program, is what I'm calling it. As a description, the name of it is Business Co-Pilot, and it has like I said, a structure to it. So we start out with, well, technically they go through a consultation form and give me some information. Go through a discovery call. When they go for the business co-pilot program, they're going to start with a groundwork session, and that will give them several different assessments to help me learn about and help them think about their business, their themselves personally as a business owner, values, goals, where they want the business to go, and more about their business itself. And then we meet for one of two 90-minute sessions to go over those assessments. And it just helps me understand them, make sure I understand what their thought process is, what their goals are, all that. I'll go through all the assessments. And then we go through a second 90-minute session, and that is me helping them come up with an action plan based on what they said in their assessments and the discussion in the first session. And they can walk away. But ideally, they will want to take that action plan and hire me to help implement that as mentoring for 90 days, 6 months, or a year.
Got it. All right, now you're here with me in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin, but you can do this with people anywhere in the country.
Absolutely.
But who is it aimed at? Who are you hoping to help here?
Yes. So it's ideally structured for business owners. There can be some room for high level business leaders if they are making decisions to move the business forward and grow. And the whole idea is just when business owners need to be able to work on their business more than in their business and just limit that overwhelm and keep their focus on growing the business and building it the way they need it to be built.
All right. Now, when people typically think about hiring someone to help with taxes or even as a fractional CMO, they're not going all the way back to their basic goals and principles. Why is it important that they do that?
You know, everybody needs to. When I used to teach business plan writing classes and even other business related classes through colleges and just different talks, I always said the business owner needs to remember their why, because the day to day really sucks in a business. The day to day usually is not the most fun. People think that when you start a business, you're going to do what you love, and usually you are, but there's so much more that goes into running a business that a lot of people don't realize. And let's face it, even as an accountant, I will be the first to say bookkeeping sucks. So, it's tedious. It's not fun. It sucks. So you have to remember your why. And with the assessments, it really helps the business owner think back. Why did you start the business? What is your goal? What are your values? And do they align with your business? All these things that are important that a lot of people don't think about to make a business venture successful.
Yeah. Now, one of the things when I started my company, well, this was when I was very young, many years ago, I read all the business books and they said, we got to have an attorney, you got to have an accountant, you got to have these external advisors. And I thought, yeah, normal people maybe, but not me. I was so wrong. So talk to me about how you like to work with your clients. How do you like to work with companies?
So I like working with folks that are coachable. They want to do better. They want to learn. I'm not going to make them an accountant or tax preparer. That's not what they want. But I want to educate them and empower them with the level of knowledge that a business owner should have to be able to understand their books, understand their financials, understand their tax return, like I said, at that high level, so that they can make day-to-day decisions. I like to work with them mostly virtual. I mean, I face to face is always great, and with the beauty of our technology now, virtual is almost like face to face. So I built my firm to be virtual even before it was cool, before the pandemic. But it's just a much more efficient way usually to work with folks because you're not having to juggle schedules as much. I mean, you still have to set up some time to meet, but the travel time is, not there as well. So, and then usually you're in your own environment. You have the answers at your fingertips when we're each in our own space virtually.
Yeah, I like that. And if you continue on, it's going to be virtual most of the time anyway, right? They're not going to come to you. Yeah, yeah. So,
Correct.
um,
Yep.
well, before we go, I want to make sure that we get contact information so that my viewers can find out how to find out more about this. I know they know about leadership training, they know about all of the big programs, but this is the first one that I have seen that starts at the financial core of the business and builds out. And I think that's really interesting. But before I go, and I didn't tell you I was going to talk about this with you, but I know that when you're not sitting behind a computer, you're out at the racetrack. So tell me what you do there and how that started.
Oh gosh, how it started goes back to, as I like to say, a past life. um, I got involved with the SCCA back in the 90s and ran timing and scoring for a long time for based out of the Milwaukee region, but went to Road America a lot and some of the other local tracks, local Illinois. Um, and and I took a break for a while, and then the track president about 7 years ago saw that I was back in the area because I'd moved away, and said, "Can you come work for me?" And he had a different way of setting up the drivers committee for the drivers who got in trouble on track, hit something to report to, so it wasn't congested in control outside, the track, and I helped with things like that. So my role is changing as I work out there. But I've met a lot of wonderful people. I love being around cars and that racetrack. I think it's a beautiful place that we have in our area, and it's kind of one of my happy places.
I love that. Now, the association that you mentioned, just gave us the initials. What is that?
Yeah, Sports Car Club of America, and I'm not a member of that association anymore, but that's how I got started with some of the race stuff.
I got you. All right. Before I let you go, if you were talking to a business owner that's not working with you yet, maybe they're not even working closely with any tax accountant, what would you tell them they need to be thinking about in order to succeed in a world where we have so much change going on in Washington? How do you talk to those folks?
Wow, there's a lot I'd want to say. um, Goodness. So I think just know that you don't have to do it all. There are so many myths that business owners carry, and you do have to wear a lot of hats, especially when you're starting out in your small business, and depending on how the course of your business goes. However, you don't have to do it alone, and you're not expected to actually know everything. Just because you're not the business owner doesn't mean you should know how to do your books or you should know all the answers, especially when it comes to tax, finance, business in general. I'm looking to be a resource for business owners because there's a lot of information out there, but it's hard to know what's really right and to find a partner to be a co-pilot, hence the business co-pilot name, alongside you. And that co-pilot program, which we didn't talk a whole lot about, and we can another day, there's so much more that it can flow into. Some of the answers can flow right into a business plan if you need to start or update that, or CFO projects. But just know that there is a resource now out there to help walk alongside you so you're not feeling so alone and overwhelmed.
I love it. We've been visiting with Jamie Burkart. She's the founder of Foenix Tax and Business Services. Jamie, we will do this again. So thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. I loved it.